National Credit Systems, may I help you?
This unmarked building in the shadow of Atlanta's airport is home to the nation's largest debt collector for apartment complexes.
You're contacting National Credit Systems. We are a debt collections company.
National Credit Systems, or NCS, goes after money owed by renters, sometimes suing them on behalf of landlords, sometimes getting sued by the former tenants.
I mean, if there was no penalty for not paying your bills, no one would pay them.
Ryan Baxter ran the legal department at NCS while studying to take the bar exam. Once he became an attorney, the first case he filed was against his former employer. Did you ever tell them, hey, this is against the law. I can't do this because it is a violation of the law?
At least a dozen times.
In those words?
Absolutely. And I'm not going to participate in this. That's what I said.
His lawsuit claims, among other things, NCS was keeping interest payments from court judgments in favor of the apartment owners. Baxter says he went straight to NCS President Joel Lackey to report he suspected hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest was kept from the company's clients for years.
And I'm not going to take part in that. And they told me, no, you don't know what you're talking about.
So what did they do?
They kept the money.
Ryan Baxter says he brought to you as the CEO his concern that there were these interest payments that were essentially being kept by the company and not being shared with the clients.
Yes.
Do you remember that conversation?
I absolutely do.
And did he say this is improper or illegal at the time?
Yeah, he did. And I totally disagree with his statement there. It's such an inconsequential amount. We would get complaint after complaint from clients saying, we can't post this. They'd send us the checks back.
There's no instance where a client would have been in the dark about this. They would be aware that this interest existed and they weren't getting it, right?
I don't know if they'd be aware or not.
There's this interest money that is at least partially due to the client in some cases, and the client's not notified that they have this amount that might be theirs.
If it is over and above the amount that was turned over to us, and all other monies have been paid, then yes, that interest payment may have been withheld by the agency.
They just wouldn't tell them, and they just keep the money.
NCS started splitting the interest with its clients after Baxter raised the alarm, but Lackey and his company deny they broke any laws.
National Credit. What is your name, sir?
Austin Case.
Austin Case got a surprise collection notice from NCS in 2016 after he moved out of a Denver apartment.
Basically wanted to see the proof. I wanted to see what they said I owed, So I would love for them to have the proof before.
Well, the proof. The proof is, I'm not laughing, sir, at you, but ultimately you're going to have to produce some proof to substantiate your dispute. They don't have to provide proof. You do.
And I have proof. I have a move out of the 4 months of when I moved out.
That has nothing. Sir, that's not proof. That's not proof.
The guy got aggravated and very hostile.
That is not proof, Mr. Casey. That's not proof. You allow.
I'm gonna go ahead and call someone else because you're gonna argue with me with this, and I'm not gonna take it.
Austin, listen to me. Listen to me. Do me a favor. Do me a favor, Austin. Don't ever call me back again, okay? Because you're one of those people, you don't want to hear the truth, and you don't want to accept the truth. You let those people stay in there. You allowed yourself to stay on that contract. Whatever they did to that apartment, whatever kind of damages they left. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Okay? So I'm going to let you go, and we'll let it'll go on your credit and your rental history, and you can just deal with it from there, okay?
Case filed a complaint against NCS with the Colorado Attorney General. Investigators contacted Ryan Baxter at the legal department, who first defended the company. But then the AG asked for those call recordings. Where's the line crossed when you heard that call?
When he told the consumer that he had to provide the proof to our company that he didn't know the debt. That's not legally correct.
They don't have to provide proof. You do.
It's the other way around.
Yes, sir.
The collection agency has to validate the debt, document it, say, here's why you owe it.
Yes, sir. I went to one of my bosses named Ron. He told me that we should write the Attorney General back and tell them that we had lost the call recordings.
Wait. Write the Attorney General and say you lost the recording.
Yes, sir.
Were the recordings lost?
No.
Ron Sapp, Vice President of Operations at NCS, signed this letter to the Colorado Attorney General. Unfortunately, NCS was unable to locate the recordings. What would be the reason for not being able to locate recordings? Aren't all your calls recorded?
For the most part, but he is a remote employee, and our recording system isn't perfect.
We have the recordings.
Okay.
if we have the recordings and we have a letter to the Colorado Attorney General saying the recordings don't exist, how can those two things both be true?
I don't know.
We played NCS's own call recordings for President Joe Lackey, recordings that his company told state regulators didn't exist.
Do me a favor, Austin. Don't ever call me back again, okay?
I don't like that one bit.
What? What part?
The professionalism. Terrible professionalism.
So
That was a horrible call.
So that's not typical of your company?
No, absolutely not.
So do the consumers have any rights if we happen to get any collection notices?
Absolutely, Faith. If they say you owe the money, you can ask them to prove it. It's called validation. You can demand documentation. Also, they're not allowed to threaten you. They can't misrepresent the facts. They can't lie, and they can't use threats of things that simply aren't true.